Picture this. You are a person with thoughts, emotions, and opinions, all personal to you. You spent your whole life building yourself up to be the human you are today. Now imagine having to change it all, in a short time having to create a whole separate personality for yourself. Then do it again, and 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 again. This is the life of an actor. To many, their lives may seem amazing and luxurious, and that's no surprise after seeing the sizable earnings some actors make for starring in films. However, while we are constantly getting a good look at the flashy side of showbiz, there is a much deeper, underlying threat to actors. That threat is mental health. Many big Hollywood actors like Ryan Reynolds and Chris Evans may seem invincible, with their big roles and even bigger personalities keeping them safe. But you may be amazed to know that both have struggled with their own personal mental health issues.
Some actors often seek help after losing an iconic character role,
such as Kit Harington, who checked himself into rehab after using alcohol as a coping mechanism to deal with the stress of losing his role as Jon Snow when Game of Thrones ended. In a much more serious case, in 2014, comedian Robin Williams took his own life after struggling with depression and anxiety. And these are only the actors that the media covers. There are probably thousands of lesser known actors, all suffering in silence. In order to better grasp how these issues come about in actors, I spoke to a couple of friends who are studying acting to get their take on the issue.
My name is Chloe Campbell and I go to the Guildford School of Acting.
So my name is Edward Thompson and I go to East 15 Acting School in Essex.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that acting is a very taxing job, both emotionally and mentally, because I feel like you're constantly in your head, because you're overanalyzing everything you do, because acting is so subjective. So there's literally no one to ever tell you, oh yeah, like you're actually really good at this. Well, you can go for like 10 auditions and get 10 rejections just because you maybe didn't look like the part. You can just look slightly not right, or maybe your voice doesn't sound slightly right for the character. So, but then in your head, you're like, oh, I wasn't good enough, or oh, like I can't act as good as anyone else in the audition room. So I think that's a really hard thing that plays on your mind emotionally.
Not only are you always working with your head, because that's what you need to constantly enter into deep states of emotion and try and become other characters, and that, long term, if you don't have breaks from that, that obviously is quite detrimental to your mental health. And it's just that sort of idea of like, you constantly have to criticize yourself. You're gonna fail more often than you're gonna be successful, and it can be very easy to just say, just start having these thoughts about like, I'm worthless, I'm never going to be able to do anything, I'm never going to achieve anything. Just leave it to the professionals, basically. And your work, even like, you're not going to be producing your best work all the time. You're going to be producing work that you then learn from. So you have to just make mistakes, and you're never going to stop making mistakes, basically, and you're never going to get it right, because it's art. Like, you can't get it right. There's no right to it, and you can just kind of find yourself sort of spiraling into thoughts of, is there any point in this, and losing the reason that you went into that area in the first place.
I think for me, sometimes like it's a good release. For example, if I go into lesson one day, we were playing a 5-year-old, and like a very excitable 5-year-old. So I think if you completely immerse yourself in that, you can kind of forget about like anything that's going on in your head or like thing that you're stressed about. However, like I think definitely if you're playing a character that, for example, is maybe going through a bit of trauma, or maybe you have to think like, oh, this character has been abused by like her husband or boyfriend, or you have to be very safe in getting to that place. You don't, I think, because there's a Stanislavski technique called like emotional memory, where you use like things that have happened to you in your past to get you to that character. And I think you have to be very, very careful when you're using that, because you don't want to get so close to the character that it hurts you.
For example, I have like a memory of like back when I was in Scouts, and I use it whenever I need to feel like angry or frustrated or just like generally like upset or traumatized. When I had, there's sort of a couple of bullies in my Scouts who used to like put me in a cupboard, and the weird thing is like you'd think that like having to bring that up over and over again like would not be good for your mental health, but actually the real problem comes from the fact that the more you use one memory as a trigger point, like so you reuse the one thing to get into a certain state, the sort of like less impactful it comes and the number it becomes. So that's actually a real pain when you're trying to do a performance, because you keep having to come up with like new things that will help you get to that area, because if you keep going back to the same place it gets really stale and you can't use it anymore. So yeah.
I 100% think actors should open up to their friends, and even tutors like that are working with you, or co-actors, or anyone on set. Like, I think a lot of actors are scared to open up and are scared to be like, actually I'm not doing okay, because they don't want to be a nuisance, or they don't want to, they don't want to give the director or anyone else like an opportunity to hire another actor who's like less hassle. But like, it's not hassle, because it'll make you be the best actor that you can be. There's no point in them hiring you and then you not performing to the best of your ability, because you're going through something and you don't want to mention it. So I think it is so important to mention it. Like, I know at a lot of drama schools now, they have mental health first aiders. I know especially at Guildford School of Acting, they have mental health first aiders, and the staff wear like a white lanyard, so that that you can talk to them, because it is a very it can be a very intense environment.
Like a lot of the time for me it's just like taking a break, like doing recreational stuff. So like I do a lot of running, or I'll just like watch some other actors at work, either in a film or like on the stage or something, and just remind myself, that like, or just, in fact, not even remind myself, just like forget about the idea of like having to perform for a while and all those negative thoughts. Just like take it out of your life for a bit. That's what I said, but you need to have a break from it. It can't be on your mind 24/7, or it does start to dig deeper and deeper. And yeah, just watching other actors and performers, being successful and in their prime is really a motivating thing to see. And because actors are always, kind of the underdogs, and watching someone be successful, reminds you you're all in the same boat, or all were in the same boat at some stage. Some of you may remain in that boat, some of you will, reach dry land. But yeah, that's what helps me keep going and keep carrying forward.